All right, there we go. Welcome, everyone. This is Tech for Senior. It is November 13th. I'm Ron Brown, and I'll be your host today. We have a big show for you, and I'm going to introduce our staff in just a minute. I'm not going to go through the whole show agenda today. It's actually in the notes. If you go to notes and click on that, you'll see that the agenda for today is there. But I did want to let you know about our premiere video, which is coming up at the ℏ𝕠𝕠𝕟. And there's 3 selections as usual. The first one is I'm going to talk about what it means to like and subscribe to a channel. And so if you're worried about liking and subscribing and you're not quite sure what that means, I'll explain that. Huey's going to talk about multiple URLs. And this is a really interesting presentation he did about a year ago. And Bob's going to talk about an uncomplicated launcher for your cell phone. And all those will be at ℏ𝕠𝕠𝕟 for your, and it'll be that coming up soon. Now, moving on for I wanted just to go over the upcoming schedule because we have, of course, holidays coming and everyone's probably wondering what's happening. So for the Thanksgiving holiday week, nothing really is going to change. We're going to have our Monday show, which will be a regular show on Monday, and we are going to do a Thursday show for Thanksgiving. And we've done that in the past, and that actually we get a fairly good turnout, so we're going to continue on with the Thursday show. Coming into December, if you haven't looked, December 25th, which is a Monday, which is Christmas Day, is a Monday. So I think we're going to give up on a show on December the 25th on Monday. I will let everybody have time with their family. We will do a Thursday show, though, which will be Tech for Senior Live. And then Huey's not going to party. He's going to stay at home. He's going to remain sober and just work on the Monday show on January 1st because he wants to be the person who hosts the first show of 2024. So that lets me go to party on New Year's Eve. So he's going to do the New Year's Day show on January 1st. So there will be a show, Tech for Senior show on Monday on January the 1st. Well done, Huey, and I'll have a toast to you, right? Okay, the next thing, let's see. I know what I wanted to talk about is, it was interesting. I did a video about a year ago, and the video was how to control sound in multiple Chrome tabs. And it was a video that I sent out, and I got a comment on it this week. And the comment said, I didn't know this, thanks. And he says, I'm 13. So I thought this is the oldies teaching the youngies to a 13-year-old who commented on the video. And I thought that was sort of cute because oftentimes we're saying, well, if you want to know how to do something, just ask your 13-year-old. Well, this is a 13-year-old that learned from a senior. So I thought that was such a cute comment for a 13-year-old. And I thought that was really interesting.
That was nice of him to do that.
Yes. And I sent him a nice note back, and that was nice of him to do that. The other thing I wanted just to let everyone know is starting in December, Google is starting to delete the orphaned accounts. Now, you probably have heard about this. We've talked about it this past year, and those of you who have orphaned accounts, Google accounts that you don't use anymore, such as, and I have a couple actually, that I'm just happy that Google's going to get rid of them for me. You will know because Google will have called you and contacted you this year. You would have got an email saying, look, this is your account. Do you want to do something with it? But they will be starting deleting in December. I guess a couple of weeks from now.
We'll talk about that more too when my little thing starts.
Oh, you're going to start it? Okay, you're going to mention that
yes.
as well. And Bob will probably say the same thing. But anyway, if you haven't signed in for the past 2 years, then you need to either read an email, use Google Drive, watch a YouTube video, download an app from the Play Store, use Google search, or sign in with Google to log into a third-party app or service. So you need to do those things to reactivate the account. If you do that, then they're not going to delete it. But in my case, with my 2 orphaned accounts, well, one of them I can't figure out how to log in anymore because I changed my phone number, but that's okay. It was just my dummy account. And the other one is, of course, an old computer club that we don't have anymore. So I'd just as soon get rid of those because there's security risks. So they're going to get rid of those. So I thought that was just let you know. So if you do have something and you haven't used an account for a long time, just log in once and you should be okay. But you'll know because they contacted me numerous times last year about both my accounts. Huey, you had a good, let me just take off the spotlight. You had a good meeting yesterday.
Yep, the Windows Special Interest Group, or WinSig. I've downloaded the recording. I got to do some editing, and then I'll be posting it up on the CFCS channel sometime, I hope today.
Excellent. Ray, is it snowing at your place?
No
in
snow.
Arizona? Are you getting snow?
No, it's 60 degrees outside.
What?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I guess that's why all the snowbirds come, eh?
Well, they're not coming up here, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, we don't have snow down at my place, but I do have my new electric snowblower. I'm anxious. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Bill, James, it's got to be snowing at your place. Oklahoma, come on.
It is not. It's 65 degrees.
Really?
Very
All
nice
right.
day. Blue skies, but I think we'll be in for rougher weather later in the week. I think rain is forecast
Right.
for either latter this week or next week.
Right.
But so far, it's been very nice.
Oh, okay. Well, we look forward to your segment today. So thank you for doing it.
I'm excited about it. Hopefully, I get it right.
Okay. There we go. Bob phoned me this week and asked me if I could bring my snowblower over because he did get a dump of snow.
Yep. And we're probably the coldest right now because I'm still at 42.
There you go. There you go.
That's about what we are.
There you go. And Chris, of course, you had a great show on Sunday. Those of you who don't watch the Button Show on Sunday, you're missing a lot, right, Chris?
And I shared a little bit about the Google Product Expert Program, and I'll bet you got plenty of people here who would absolutely qualify, and maybe I'll see them at the summit in some other place in the world next year. All you do is go to productexperts.withgoogle.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
If you're interested in becoming a Google Product Expert.
That's a good idea. Thanks so much, Chris. I want to get going right away because we have a big show and we're going to run late tonight for sure. So, Bob, do you want to get started?
Whenever you're ready.
Let's roll. Murray, we'll do your question in the Q&A.
Here is my security news roundup for the week ending November 10th, 2023. CCleaner got hacked, exposing emails, addresses, and more. The incredibly popular maintenance and optimization tool for Windows, CCleaner, recently confirmed a data breach that exposed loads of user data on its paid customers. The breach was reportedly caused by the MoveIt hack back in May. CCleaner parent company Gen Digital is busy sending out emails to customers warning that bad actors who took advantage of the massive MoveIt flaw earlier this year retrieved tons of information on its users. Unfortunately, we're not sure how many are affected, but it sounds like a pretty big mess. Read more at howtogeek.com. Researchers uncover undetectable crypto mining technique on Azure automation. Cybersecurity researchers have developed what's the first fully undetectable cloud-based cryptocurrency miner leveraging the Microsoft Azure automation service without racking up any charges. SafeBreach said it found a bug in the Azure pricing calculator that made it possible to execute an infinite number of jobs totally free of charge, although it relates to the attacker's environment itself. Microsoft has since issued a fix for the problem, We highly recommend that organizations educate themselves about the methods and flows malicious actors may use to create undetectable resources and proactively monitor for code execution indicative of such behavior. Read more at thehackernews.com. CISA alerts high severity SLP vulnerability now under active exploitation. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency on Wednesday added a high-severity flaw in the service location protocol to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, citing evidence of active exploitation. The service location protocol contains a denial of service vulnerability that could allow an unauthenticated remote attacker to register services and use spoofed UDP traffic to conduct a denial of service attack with a significant amplification factor, CISA said. SLP is a protocol that allows systems on a local area network to discover each other and establish communications. Read more at thehackernews.com. Chatbots may hallucinate more often than many realize. You've probably heard about our chatty AI pals cooking up fibs like a teen avoiding curfew. ChatGPT started the gabfest, and soon Google's Bard was spouting space tales about the James Webb Telescope, like a drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. Even Bing got in on the action, babbling about the Gap and Mexican nightlife as if it had a wild weekend to share. ℎ𝕗vectera, the brainchild of some ex-Googlers, putting these bots through a truth detector, and whoa, the results? Our AI buddies are fibbing 3% to a whopping 27% of the time. It's like they've got a glitchy Pinocchio syndrome. Read more at dnews.com. Verizon has a newly updated app to stop spam calls. On Wednesday, Verizon announced a newly upgraded call filter app that will help cut back on the amount of spam calls. According to Verizon, this app already stopped more than 42 billion unwanted calls. Call Filter app can be downloaded for free for basic features like spam detection, spam filter, spam and blocked call logs, allowed numbers, and report spam. You can also upgrade to the Plus version for caller ID, spam lookup, personal block list, spam risk meter, and block by category. Read more at cordcuttersnews.com. Google will start deleting millions of abandoned Gmail accounts next month. Google has announced it will start deleting accounts that have been inactive for 2 years or longer in December. The company is taking a phased approach, starting with accounts that were created and never used again. If your account is in danger, you will have already received a notification on the account and its recovery email address. To keep your account, all you have to do is make it active. You can do this by signing in and using any of Google's services, such as reading an email, using Google Drive, watching YouTube, etc. Read more at androidauthority.com. OpenAI's ChatGPT back online after major outage. ChatGPT, OpenAI's AI-powered chatbot, has been experiencing sporadic outages for the past 24 hours. Users who attempted to access the service have been greeted with a message stating that ChatGPT is at capacity right now, and others, including TechCrunch, have been unable to log into the service. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman initially blamed the issue on interests in the platform's new features, unveiled at the company's first developer conference on 11/6/2023. In its latest update, the company said the ongoing outages are due to an abnormal traffic pattern reflective of a DDoS attack. DDoS attacks typically involve an attempt to overwhelm an online service by flooding it with more requests than it can handle. Read more at TechCrunch.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. 10 phrases you should never use without knowing their meaning. Sometimes it's not the grand gesture, but the everyday phrases that can reveal a lack of emotional intelligence. Please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know? The invention of the first hydrant is typically credited to Frederick Graff Sr. in 1801, but ironically can't be officially verified because the patent records for the first fire hydrant were destroyed in a fire at the U.S. Patent Office in 1836. When you're good at something, you tell everyone. When you're great at something, they tell you. Thanks to Walter Payton. Success doesn't change you. Fame does. Thanks to Whitney Houston. Just thought you might want to know. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks, Bob. That was great. Good information as always. Now, now we're going to move on, and I want to talk a little bit about passkeys. Now, as you are aware, we've talked a little bit about passkeys this past year, and it's sort of been in the news and out of the news. And so as we move forward to 2024, it's going to be more of a talk. We're going to be talking more and more about this. So I wanted to do this video. I've been working on it for a month. It was the most complicated video I've ever made. Anyway, see if you like it and see what you think about. This is explaining how passkeys work. Let's watch Joe as he logs into his bank. You know what you noticed? No passwords. That's because Joe uses passkeys. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get passkeys, how to install them, and why they're so secure. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help seniors understand technology. Today we're going to talk about passkeys. In 2023, you started to hear about passkeys as Apple, Microsoft, and Google started to use these as sign-ons for your account. We started to see password managers and secure websites use passkeys instead of passwords. Based on FIDO standards, passkeys are a replacement for passwords that provide faster, easier, and more secure sign-ins to websites and apps across a user's device. Unlike passwords, passkeys are strong and phishing resistant. So in this video, I'm going to explain what passkeys are, where you find passkeys, how you might use them, and how they're better than passwords. So let's get on with the video and see how this works. It's easier if I take you through our existing security practices and then explain how passkeys work. So in this first scenario, Joe is going to log into his bank account with the password. So let's see how this goes. Joe, of course, makes contact with his bank. His bank asks him for a password. Joe puts his password in. His password is 1234. Joe hates passwords. He has no password manager, and he uses the same password for all his accounts. Once entered in, the bank accepts the password and allows him into his account. So the problem is this. Over the past 15 years, I've taught a lot of security courses, and we've always taught the fundamentals as follows. Make passwords complicated so they cannot be guessed. Passwords should be greater than 8 digits, and to help you with that, we encourage you to use passphrases. Now, we also recommend using a password manager so that you can remember all these passwords, and you should not use the same password for all your sites. But despite all our preaching over the years, these basic principles are rarely followed. In fact, and as you are well aware, the most common passwords used are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the word password. Despite having password managers for many years, the uptake of that and the use of password managers still remains very low. And people just don't want to remember passwords, so they frequently use the same password for all the sites, and the behavior of this really hasn't changed, what leads to a lot of problems. And what is most important that you must understand is what we've taught in the past is not necessarily true at present, and that is the case with passwords. None of this is true anymore, and let me explain why. Now, the reason passwords aren't going to work is because of phishing. And this is the common method by which the bad guys get your password. They just trick you into giving up your passwords. Why should they have to guess them when you're going to voluntarily just give them up? Now, I'm sure those in the audience today will say, no, 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 I will never give my password up. I am a security expert. Well, folks, if that's what you think, then you are part of the problem, because phishing is a very sophisticated art, and there's sort of general phishing that will happen right up to spear phishing, where it's very targeted, and anyone can get caught in a phishing scam. And if you are a targeted person, then it's just hopeless. So they will get your passwords voluntarily by you giving them up. And that is called phishing, and nobody is immune. So let's look at the next phase of security that will protect you against phishing. Since anyone can get your password and thereby log into your account, we need a second factor, something that you have and can identify yourself and say, hey, it's me, honestly, it's me. So this is called a second factor verification, and this is an example of using your cell phone and receiving a text. Now you see Joe is, of course, logging into his bank. He's using his favorite password, 1, 2, 3, 4. When he starts to log into the bank says, whoa, we're not sure you are Joe. We want a second step verification. So they are going to send him a text message to his phone, which he's already registered with the bank. Joe then gets a text message from the bank that has the 6-digit code he needs. He then takes that code and enters it into the bank site, and that allows him into his bank account. Now, this type of security, called two-factor authentication, is using a text message to get your 6-digit code. Now, this is based on the theory that only you would have that SIM card with your phone number. Nobody else in the whole world will have that. That is your phone number on your SIM card. So what are some of the problems with this? Well, it applies to all devices. So if you're on your PC, you would have to, of course, have your phone with you to receive the text message. Bit cumbersome there. Also, we talk about SIM jacking. Some people, if you have your phone stolen or lost, they take the SIM card out, and once that SIM card is on someone else's phone, then they're able to complete your two-step verification. What if you don't own a phone? Not common, but of course it does occur. And it does get a little more complicated with international travel if you're not able to get text messages internationally. So all in all, it has had a relatively poor adoption as a second factor security method. All right, let's see if we can make this text thing a little bit easier. And in this scenario, we're going to use an authenticator app. You're going to see Joe logging into the bank asking for an authenticator number, and then he's going to get that from an app on his phone. This means, of course, you don't have to receive a text message. So here we see Joe entering his 1, 2, 3, 4 password. He then is prompted for the 6-digit security code, and he picks up his phone and looks on his phone in the authenticator app, which generates the 6-digit code for his bank. He then puts the 6-digit code into the computer, and he gets logged into his bank. So that is two-factor authentication using the Authenticator app. That is precisely the type of security I've used for the past 10 years. I have all my accounts secured by two-factor authentication using the Authenticator app. It is probably the most secure because I don't need any text messages. The Authenticator app sits on my phone and it generates the number. Despite being available for the past 10 years and probably the most secure, it's had, again, a very poor adoption if you look on the global picture. And the reason is because maybe the apps are confusing. It's something else you have to learn. If you're on your phone and you have to switch between apps to get the number when you're logging into something in a store, again, it's confusing. So despite being the most secure, it just hasn't had the wide appeal that we hoped it would have. So that is two-factor authentication, sending by text and using an Authenticator app. Now, on behalf of all technology, I have an apology to make. As an educator, the practice that we've done for the past 10 years is to show you videos of all the bad things that will happen to you if you don't use these services. Despite working very hard and really trying to encourage people, the uptake and the universal appeal of these two methods has been relatively low. And for that, I want to apologize because you have spoken and it just doesn't work for you. So what we've done is we have come back, we have reassessed things again and created PassKeys. And hopefully PassKeys will be easier for you to use, more acceptable, and have a universal appeal. So let me explain PassKeys and how they work. The easiest way to explain PassKeys is to follow Joe on his logging into the bank again. So Joe, of course, sits down to his computer and goes to log into the bank. His computer makes connections with the bank, and the bank says, "Hi, Joe, how would you like to use PassKeys? You won't have to remember any passwords." And Joe thinks that's great because now he won't have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Joe says, "Yes, I'm happy to use PassKeys," and clicks the button. When he clicks the button at the bank, something happens. There's actually some software that downloads onto his whatever device it is. This is device specific, and let's say he's using his computer or PC. This software drops down onto his PC, as well as some software gets installed at the bank. And the bank is called his public key, and the software that gets downloaded onto his PC is a private key. No, you don't actually get a key. This is just some software. Now, the private key on Joe's computer is secure and, as I said before, is only on his computer. His public key is stored at the bank. Once this process has occurred, Joe decides to log off, and now he's going to try the new passkey system. So Joe connects to the bank through his computer, no password required, and the bank says, "Hey, is that you? Is that really you, Joe?" Joe says, "Yeah, it's me. It's me." And so the bank says, we are going to send you a quiz. And this quiz is a mathematical quiz. And to solve this quiz, you're going to have to be real smart. Joe says, "Yeah, that's okay." And so the bank decides to send him this quiz, and this is a very complicated quiz. In fact, in order to get the answer, you would need to hook all the computers in the whole world up, can't miss one, and run them for a whole week to get the answer to this quiz. It's a tough quiz that they're going to send Joe's computer. So they do. They send that quiz to Joe's computer, and within seconds, because Joe has the private key, he can solve that instantaneously. Nobody else can, but because of that private key, Joe can solve that. And that creates a number, a digit, a long digit that immediately is sent to the bank. The bank says, "Hey, you are Joe, that's great," and lets him log in. So that's how public and private key encryption works. So let's summarize and see how all this is going to work when Joe logs into the bank. Now, we don't know what the menu system would look like at the bank. It could be, do you want to sign in with a password, you want to sign in with two-factor authentication, or use a passkey. So I'm not sure how the bank will set the menu up, but anyway, Joe connects with the bank, clicks passkey, and as soon as he hits that button, passkey, the complicated math question gets sent to his computer where the private key unencrypts it, solves the problem, and sends the code over to the bank and instantly allows Joe into his bank account. That fast, no passwords. So that is how passkeys are created. That's where you find them, and that's how they work. Now, the private and public passkey idea is part of a science called cryptography. This is not a new science. In fact, it's been around since the 1970s when PCs were just created. So this is a science that's been around a very long time, and this is sort of a new twist to it, using it as a sign-on for your secure sites. Now, to understand this technology and make it easy for you, there's one point that you need to understand, and that is that the private passkey that is on your device, let's say it's on your mobile phone, is unique to that phone. You can't copy it, you can't move it, you can't do anything with it. It is only on that phone. It is a private passkey. If you get a new device, you have to create a new one. The public passkey is, of course, out in the internet. It's on a secure site, maybe your bank or wherever. And if they get hacked and your public key gets taken, it can't do anything because it doesn't have the private key, and only you have that private key on that device. Now, the second thing you're going to say to me, oh, Ron, no, we're going to have to create all these public and private keys for all these different sites. Aren't I going to need a massive password manager to keep track of all these different passkeys? Nope, it all happens behind the scenes. You won't have to do anything. It's magic. It'll just appear and it will work and sign you in and it'll all happen. You don't need to do anything. And then I know you're all just on the edge of your seat wanting to ask me, what happens if you lose or someone steals your mobile phone, for example? They, of course, have your private key. The answer couldn't be simpler. You just log into your bank account on another device. You just go down to the security section and delete your private key for that account. Gone, so they can't get in. Now, if you retrieve your phone or you get a new phone, then all you have to do is just recreate another public key, which you saw how easy it is to do. So this is the most secure and easiest so far for secure sign-ins, and no more passwords. You also can leave your other sign-on options in place so your passkeys can be used in addition to your other types of sign-in. Now, over the next few years, you're going to see this progressing and more companies offering this as an option for a sign-in. It'll all be a little different depending on how the company structures it, but it is secure, it's easy, and I would really encourage you to try it. I think you're going to like it, and maybe we'll be able to get rid of those passwords and password managers. Now, in this section, I'm going to show you passkeys in my Google account. I'm going to show you where they are and how I use them to set up a Google passkey to get into my Google account on my Pixel phone from my PC. In other words, I logged into my PC and set up a passkey for my Pixel phone on my PC. Let's have a look at how I did that. All right, we're now in my Google account, and we're going to come down and you'll see my my account is protected, and by that green check mark. And if you come over to security on the left side, we're going to click security. You'll see I have two passkeys, and we're going to click this and create a new passkey. I'm going to hit continue. And what this is going to do is bring up a menu, and I'm going to select my Pixel 6 phone. Click that. And it's now going to notify my Pixel 6, send a private key over there. And I'm going to hit continue. And your passkey is created, and we're all done. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video as much as I had making it. Please do that, like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Give passkeys a try. Super easy, extremely safe, and I'm sure you're going to find it a lot easier than Password Manager and passwords. Till we see you again, have a great day. All right, I know there's going to be lots of questions about that, but of course we'll refer those in our Q&A. Bill, are you ready to get going?
Good morning, everyone. We're going to discuss the Microsoft CoPilot, what it is and where to find it in Windows 10 and 11. Following the trials with hundreds of customers in recent months, Microsoft's 365 CoPilot became generally available for larger customers on November 1st, 2023. What it is a digital assistant that provides a single user experience across Bing, Edge, Microsoft 365, and Windows. It is designed to help users complete tasks with ease and lessen their cognitive load. Bing Chat Enterprise, which builds on Microsoft Copilot and adds commercial data protection, is also available as a standalone for $5 per user per month, and it is included in Microsoft 365. Microsoft has made accessing the power of Copilot seamless, as it's always right there for you on your taskbar, or with Windows 11, using the Win+C keyboard shortcut, it'll provide assistance alongside all your apps. Copilot in Windows will feature the new Copilot icon, the new Copilot user experience, Bing Chat, and will be available to commercial customers for free. The key component of Copilot, as with other generative AI tools, is the large language model, or LLM. These language models are best thought of as a machine learning network trained through data input-output sets. The model uses a self-supervised or semi-supervised learning methodology. Basically, data is ingested and the LLM spits out a response based on what the algorithm predicts the next word will be. The information in an LLM can be restricted to proprietary corporate data, or, as in the case with ChatGPT, can include whatever data it is fed or scraped directly from the web. There are two basic ways users will interact with Copilot. It can be accessed directly within an app to create a PowerPoint slides, for example, or an email draft, or via a natural language chat bot accessible in Teams known as Microsoft 365 Chat. Interactions within apps can take a variety of forms, depending on the application. When Copilot is invoked in a Word document, for example, it can suggest improvements to existing text or even create a first draft. In this example, you see where Copilot is helping a Word user draft a proposal for meeting notes. To generate a draft, a user can ask Copilot in natural language to create text based on a particular source of information or from a combination of sources. One example, creating a draft proposal based on meeting notes from one note and a product roadmap from another Word document. Once a draft is created, the user can edit it, adjust the style, or ask the AI tool to redo the whole document. A Copilot sidebar provides space for more interaction with the bot, which also suggests prompts to improve the draft, such as adding images or a FAQ section. In PowerPoint, CoPilot can automatically turn a Word document into draft slides that can then be adapted via natural languages in the CoPilot sidebar. CoPilot can also generate suggested speaker notes to go with the slides and add more images. The other way to interact with CoPilot is via Microsoft 365 Chat, which is accessible as a chatbot with Teams. Here, Microsoft 365 Chat works as a search tool that surfaces information from a range of sources, including documents, calendars, emails, and chats. For instance, an employee could ask for an update on a project and get a summary of relative team. Microsoft brought its artificial intelligence-powered Bing into the Edge browser, calling it CoPilot for the web. Microsoft is also pushing privacy as an important point, saying AI-powered chat data is protected and won't leak outside an organization. Chat is not saved, and Microsoft has no eyes-on access, which means no one can view your data. Microsoft said in a blog post, and your data is not used to train models. Not to be outdone by Google, Microsoft is also rolling out a multimodal capability, bringing visual search to Bing Chat. This means that you can use images of Bing Chat to search for things. CoPilot in Windows 11. CoPilot in Windows is currently available as a preview in select global markets as part of the 22H2 update to Windows 11. The initial market for CoPilot in Windows preview includes North America and parts of Asia and South America. They will add more markets over time. If you've already updated to version 22H2, and are in one of the preview markets, you'll see the CoPilot icon on your taskbar in our example here. To use CoPilot, you need to have Microsoft 365 subscription. And note that Microsoft is playing games again with our terminology. When I say Microsoft 365, we're actually talking about Office. And you'll need also the latest version of the apps that support CoPilot. You also need to enable the CoPilot button on your taskbar or toolbar, depending on the apps you're using. Once you have CoPilot enabled, you can click on it and start a conversation. You can ask CoPilot to do things for you, such as setting a reminder, finding a file, or formatting a table. You also can ask CoPilot for help, such as how to use a feature, what to say in an email, or what to do next. CoPilot will respond with suggestions, actions, or links to relevant sources. In Windows 10, CoPilot is integrated with Microsoft Edge. Microsoft CoPilot is only available in Microsoft Edge, whereas with Windows 11, you can start it using the aforementioned Windows key plus C to have it installed on your taskbar. CoPilot is still in preview, which means it's not fully developed and may not work as expected. Microsoft is constantly improving CoPilot based on user feedback and data. And I might note, if you try using the Windows key plus C in Windows 10, you'll get Cortana, which is being discontinued. But in Windows 11, it actually brings up CoPilot. To get started with CoPilot and Edge, you need to follow these steps. Make sure you have updated your Edge browser to version 1.11 or higher. Open any web page or document at the Edge browser. Click on the CoPilot icon from the top right to launch the CoPilot Assistant. You can also enable CoPilot integration from Microsoft Edge by going to the CoPilot settings and turning on the toggle for Let CoPilot in Windows use Microsoft Edge content. Go to Bing.com and join the waitlist for Bing Chat. You will receive an email when Bing Chat is available to you. You can help CoPilot get better by rating its responses, reporting issues, and joining the CoPilot community. You can also learn more about how CoPilot works, how to use it, and what you can do with it by visiting the official website or watching the video that is listed below. And you can learn more at support.microsoft.com and tomsguide.com. Here's some of the tasks that you can do with CoPilot. This is a demo. I'm going to click on my Windows key plus C, and you should see CoPilot come up in the right corner, which it did. I'm going to tell it to turn off dark mode, and look what happens. Remember, this is not a voice activated. This is text based. So now it comes up and gives me a little box right here that I can say, turn off dark mode. Sure, would you like to turn off dark mode? And I can say yes, and it will turn it off. Or I can say no thanks, which I'll do. And then it gives you some other information of how you can switch to light mode, etc. If I want to take a screenshot, I can type in, take a screenshot. So it's starting the snipping tool, and here it is. And then I just select how I want to snip the screenshot, and I'm done. I can also do some settings, such as open Bluetooth and devices. That's a setting in Windows 11. And it opens up the Bluetooth and device menu settings. I can also generate an image from text, which using the incorporated ℎ𝕠𝕠𝕜. So I'm going to say, draw me a car. And there's my cars. You might note that Microsoft CoPilot will not do any network or internet personalization settings at this time. But for now, that's what the current CoPilot is doing. And I hope that in further presentations, we can explore it more and get ready for the future. Ron, back to you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Just stop sharing your screen. There we go. Perfect. All right. Thanks, Bill. I think that CoPilot is something we need to talk more about this year, and I look forward to doing some more sessions about CoPilot with Bill. I think this is going to be a really important feature of Windows. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic, and the next topic is a short one. I just wanted to give everybody a tip for Black Friday today, and you've heard me talk a lot about smartwatches, and one of the most common questions I get is which one to buy. Now, I did a video about a month ago on the cardiac benefits of a smartwatch, and the three things that you need to do is you need to have your minimum heart rate, your maximum heart rate, and the irregular heart rate notification to identify atrial fibrillation. Those are the three key things that you need on a watch. Well, let's say a watch. Now, but everyone, when I do this, says, well, what excuse me, what watch would I recommend? And we have we have, of course, the Apple Watch, we have the Pixel Watch, we have the Galaxy Watch, and of course the Fitbit Sense. But all those watches are expensive, and they have they do a lot of things, and they're great watches, but they're all expensive. So the other thing that happened is that my wife's watch, she has a Fitbit Versa. It's an old watch, and when I went to check it, it doesn't actually have the maximum and minimum heart rate notification. So I've been looking for a replacement, and she doesn't use all the features of an expensive watch. So what would be an alternative? And the alternative could be a tracker. And I just wanted to show you, because there's a special on now, and I wanted to let me just share my screen, and we're going to just share my screen, and this should bring this up. And we should be able to see that. I just get this down here. Perfect. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about just shortly is Fitbit's Charge 6. And it's actually called a tracker, but in fact, it actually has all the features of a watch. And this is the image here. And this is it's the Charge 6 is the latest one out. It has all the cardiac advanced features. It has the ECG, it has the heart rate notification, irregular heart rate notification, maximum, minimum, all those features built into it. This is the latest one, and the price of it was $210. And I knew it was going to come on sale for Black Friday. Excuse me. So this last Wednesday, I noticed it on Amazon in Canada. These are Canadian prices, and it came up for $149, which I bought, and most of my friends who I've showed this to have bought it as well. But if you look over on the US side, you'll find that it is down in US dollars to $99. And this is an outstanding value because this does all the cardiac applications, works as a watch. It does most of the things a watch does. And it's made by Fitbit, so it works on Apple, and it works on iOS. And this is, of course, $99, and this is on as a special for Black Friday. I'm not sure how long it will be on for. This is not just on Amazon. This is also at Best Buy. This is a Fitbit. They've reduced the price for Black Friday to $99, and I just wanted to let everybody know that, because it probably won't be on forever. All right, Ray, we are going to say goodbye to our YouTube clan over there. Thank you for coming. We're going to move on to our music segment now. And if you want to pop over and get questions about passkeys or anything we've talked about today, pop over and we'll let you into our meeting today. Ray, take it away.
Yes. Okay, will do. Today we're going to talk about the song Fast Car, Then and Now. Now, I first heard the song Fast Car on the radio when it was released back in 1988. At the time, I could not tell from the voice if I was listening to a man or a woman. So I thought to myself, I'll wait to hear the DJ announce the name of the artist at the end of the song. When I heard the name Tracy Chapman, I still couldn't tell the sex of the artist. So about a week later, I was in a Sam's Club store, and there on the rack was the self-titled CD Tracy Chapman with a picture of the artist. However, I still could not tell the singer's sex even from this picture. So I purchased the CD, hoping the liner notes would finally provide an answer to this mystery. And then, as I recall, this was the very first CD I ever purchased, and I still have it in my collection. Anyway, to my disappointment, the liner notes only provided lyrics and other information about the songs, nothing about the artist. Now, sometime later, I paid more attention to the lyrics of Fast Car. That's when I realized the song was being sung from a woman's perspective. Tracy Chapman was a 24-year-old young lady when she wrote and recorded the song in 1987. So last Wednesday, as Carol and I watched the annual Country Music Association Awards, I was pleasantly surprised to see the song Fast Car achieve a new recognition. Now, the following are bullet points from BBC News. Tracy Chapman's 35-year-old song Fast Car was named both Song and Single of the Year at the Country Music Association Awards in Nashville. The awards recognized the cover version by Luke Combs, which reached number 2 in the US and number 30 in the UK this past summer. Chapman is the first Black songwriter to win Song of the Year in the ceremony's 57-year history. First and foremost, I want to thank Tracy Chapman for writing one of the best songs of all time, Luke Combs said. I just recorded it because I love this song. It's the first favorite song that I ever had at 4 years old. Fast Car was originally released in 1988 as the lead single from Chapman's self-titled debut album, a haunting folk rock remuneration on trying to escape poverty. Became a major hit after the singer performed it at Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday concert at Wembley Stadium. Earlier this year, Chapman said she was honored to find herself on the U.S. country radio via Combs' cover. Now, the song won Chapman 3 Grammy Award nominations in 1989, including for Song of the Year. She also won for the Best Female Pop Vocalist. So thanks to video editing technology, I've combined 2 concert performances into one clip, starting with Tracy Chapman from 1988, followed at the same point in the song by Luke Combs from earlier this year. What really tickles me about that is that when Luke Combs was singing and looking at the age of many of the people in the audience, they weren't even born in 1988, but they knew every word.
Yes, indeed. Well done, Ray. Thanks so much. All right. It's top of the hour. Another show done. For those of you who have to leave us, don't forget we have a Thursday show coming up. Please come by and see us on Thursday. We're going to talk all about the tech news of the week. Also for you, don't forget about our premiere event at 1/2 when I'm going to talk about like and subscribe. Huey's going to talk about multiple URLs, and Bob's going to talk about an uncomplicated launcher for your phone. All good stuff happening at 1/2. We're going to move in now to our Q&A session. If you have any questions that we've talked about today, PassKeys and CoPilot or security, or I know there's been a lot of questions already about the tracker, the Fitbit Tracker 6 that I showed you, which is a great deal. In fact, my wife's will be arrived. Don't tell her, it'll be arriving tomorrow. So she's going to get it soon, and we're looking forward to. I think it'll be a great device for her. All right, Bob, you got a question?
No, I want to make a clarification. Bill, you said that with CoPilot, you need text entry only. That is not the case. If you look at the extreme right-hand side where you enter text, you'll see a microphone, and you can click on it and talk instead of typing. Also, there's always the universal for any text entry in Windows. Simply hit the Windows key and the H key, and then start talking, and it will automatically fill in your voice in text. And then you hit your entry and you're done. I'm very keen on not having to type. Typing is not my strong suit. My voice is my stronger suit.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was trying to also make the point, though, that it's not something like Google Voice or anything. I mean, not Google Voice, but like a Google speaker that you can turn on your lights and do all that thing. It's not that kind of a bot, but I understand what you're saying. Correct. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of your wonderful voice, Bob, I remembered you in your talk today and the premiere event on the on the new launcher. You were struggling this time last year with your voice. You had that laryngitis, and you had
no, not laryngitis. That was leftover. It took me 6 months to come back with my voice after having COVID.
Yeah,
that was a side effect from COVID.
Yeah, so
Thank God it's behind me.
Bear with Bob on his segment today, because he is having some trouble with his voice. Elaine, go ahead.
Hi. I tried to ask when you were running out of time about the Avast, and now I have tried to see if I can show you what I am getting when I sign into Avast. And can you see there where I have circled? This is it says on the taskbar, Avast, you are protected. But then whoops. Can you see anything there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Where it says Scan Center, run scan, it just has a perpetual circle, just a circle, nothing else, just a circle, and it goes round and round and round and round and round like your circles go when you are buffering something or when you are trying to load something. But it's perpetual. It has lasted for 5 minutes. I've restarted the computer and I've made sure that I've updated Avast.
It is scanning your system for all the files, everything else on your system. That's what you're doing. You're running a scan of your system to make sure.
But I haven't checked run scan. It's just, if I go to run scan, it still just gives me a circle.
Because it's in the middle of doing a scan. And if you're already doing quite a bit of other things, that only makes it take longer to complete the scan.
So I should just let that little circle run perpetually?
Well, it should. No, once you restart, that circle should not be there.
It is. I've restarted, I've updated, I've done everything I can, and it's still there.
Then go into your settings, and in your settings, there's a troubleshooting, and under troubleshooting, you can do a repair. After the repair is finished, do a restart, and that hopefully has fixed the problem.
I'll try that. Shooting,
Okay.
I've looked at troubleshooting, but I didn't see.
Yep.
Okay, repair. I'll try that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's nice to have an Avast expert in the show.
Right.
There you go. All right. Very good. There was a lot of questions about the tracker that I mentioned, the Fitbit tracker 6, which is the latest one that has just come out. It does not do fall detection. I'm not a big fall detection person. I don't like fall detection on watches, and I did a video about that, so I'm not that worried that it doesn't have that. But it has all the other features that most watches have that you have to pay a lot of money for. Carl, go ahead.
Okay, since you brought that up, it gave me an idea. You know, a couple weeks ago, I got a Galaxy 6. So my significant other, Rosalie, said, "Boy, I wish I could afford a tracker watch, watch like that." Well, then you're getting it for your wife. I said, bingo. I can make some points now.
$99.
Yeah. So anyway, what is the first of all, she does these senior exercise classes. A lot of them are sitting in a chair and stuff. So I thought that would really be cool because she doesn't have anything like that, first of all. And secondly, what is I saw you gave some links in the chat on the Fitbit. What does it record your history on the phone and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it links to the Fitbit app on your phone. So it doesn't matter whether you have the Fitbit Sense or the Versa or the Charge 6, it all goes into the Fitbit app. You'll have an app on your phone, download the app, and it connects to your phone, tests your watch through your phone.
I was impressed. It does EKG, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It does. It's got, and I think that's just the start. It has a lot of, the sensors have all been updated on it. And I think you're going to see more and more things coming out this year, which of course will have all the sensors to do whatever Fitbit's going to release. So I think this is just the start, but it does a lot of stuff. And for $99, that is a amazing deal. Amazing.
I'm going to get a lot of points out of that. So what does it just come in one color, or do you know?
I think it's black and white. My wife liked the white, so we bought the white.
I'm going to take a chance on
But
the white.
Yeah, you can also get other bands for it, wristbands, and you can buy those as an aftermarket thing.
Oh, I see. Okay, very good. Yeah, there was something else. Oh, what's the subscription do for you, and what's it cost?
I have no idea. It's a health app, and I put the link in the show notes there in the chat. You can look and see what the premier feature is. It's more like giving you exercise guidance. It's a whole health sort of health sort of system you can enter in for 6 months. I've never used it. I don't use it, and I haven't paid for it. I have no idea. You can look it up. The link's right there. Just
no, that's good, because I don't want to burden her with any kind of additional expenses. So that sounds great.
Should be out of the box, and it should.
The timing is good, because her birthday is the 6th of December, which isn't that far.
I know, and $99 is such a good deal. To get.
I'm not going to tell anybody that price though.
Keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm a post a list price. All right, thank you guys.
All right, Helen, go ahead.
Oh, am I?
You're
Okay,
fine.
I'm unmuted. What about sleep? Does it monitor
tracks,
your sleep?
Yep, it does indeed.
Oh, wow.
Measures your oxygen level as well. It does all the features.
Yeah.
Measures sleep, does sleep tracking as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. Does
Okay,
sleep
thank
tracking.
you.
Saturation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be buying this for my wife for Christmas.
Well, yeah, and I don't know how long the sale's going to be on. It's
No, I buy it now. She'll get it for Christmas.
yeah. I know. And it is from Fitbit. The Fitbit does have that on there. It is a Fitbit sale, not just an Amazon sale. So you'll find it at Best Buy, Fitbit, probably Walmart, wherever you're buying your Charge 6. They'll all have the same price. Just don't buy. Be careful, because Costco still in Canada, it has the Charge 5, and they want $199 for the Charge 5, which is not a good deal. So don't do that. So be careful. Don't buy the Charge 5. Get the Charge 6.
I followed your link. It comes up at $99.95, Charge 6.
Yeah, there you go.
At Fitbit.
But remember, to make the sleep feature work, you have to wear it.
You
Don't
have to
forget
wear
that.
it.
Yes.
You
You have to wear it.
Yep.
Now, the only thing people have said that it gets great reviews. The only thing people have said about it is that, as you know, on a watch, you can either have an always on screen or when you turn your wrist, the screen comes on,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if you have the one where it's not always on and you turn the wrist and it turns on, you're probably going to get 3 or 4 days out of it without a charge. With the always on display, depending on the brightness that you set, you will have to charge it every day. So depending on, my wife Gail likes it where she just turns her wrist and it turns on. So she hardly ever charges it. It lasts for a long time. Just let you know, the video for the PassKeys is published now. It's on our site. Please, if you want to go back and watch it again, you want to use it at any of your clubs, you want to use it for anything, just it's up and it's published and it's there for you. So go out and enjoy yourself, enjoy your week. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Don't forget our Thursday show. We're going to talk about all the news of the week. And have a great week. See everybody soon. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
you.